guys, hope you're doing well. We had the BOJ overnight and they had quite a mixed outlook about the next hike. There was a lot of dissent and it was just very mixed, and I think it might have caused like a little bit of a risk off ripple, like a consequence of that indecision, because it's a big thing if the Bank of Japan hike, because it's just the way that the economy works with the carry trade and things like that. And of course, if they increase the interest rate, it's going to affect us as traders because of the swap that you may or may not pay on your broker. So it has like a massive like ramification, even down to us as retail traders. But because we had like a little bit of a risk off vibe, the sentiment doesn't really help so much, because I'll show you what's going on right now. We're very chopping on the sentiment. The big picture, we are a buy, but really the 24 hours is so tiny. It's just kind of, we can probably kind of disregard it a little bit. We kind of want to see a nice move, not a tiny move, which is that has done. The VIX is lower than yesterday, so that's worth noting. So if that goes lower, we should be risk on. Okay. However, the Bank of Japan might have caused a little bit of risk off ripple, and we come to the Discord, and I'll show you what I mean with the sentiment. We'll just go with gold for a second, and there's gold. So you know they're bought. They went quite YOLO on their longs, and they got punished. So that would be normal. Okay. So when I mean they, I mean like the retail traders, the FXCM traders. So that's gold. Now the trouble is, this it doesn't give any indication. We probably are overdue a little pullback, perhaps even down to like a moving average potentially. We had an inverted head and shoulders here, see, so that was fairly bullish on the technicals, very choppy sideways, and on the US 30 it's even worse. So we can see what's happening. The crowd are undecided, price is undecided. Until we get some clarification on the sentiment, we're probably going to be range bound, and we might need clarification around the Fed chair as well, because you remember whenever we have a new Fed chairman, chairperson, we tend to like have a risk off situation where the big fish have to acclimatize to the new chair and his policy. So we could be wait and see for that. So we could be going sideways chop because of the sentiment, and also because of that macro, the new Fed chairman. And then we look at DAX. DAX is pretty much going to be following the US, I think. We have got this line I've been watching, and it's probably has been spotted by the retail traders, because it's fairly obvious. It's very tricky, because ideally what we'd want to see is them to short against the moving average for a buy, but they haven't. They're actually trying to buy. So we might break this this diagonal. So let's talk about the robot. So I've made a little update to this indicator where it's got the performance on the day and its ATR. But I'm going to refer to this MA band, right? So we come to this this gold. This is the performance from last night over till the morning. Now the point is this: what it does, it will identify the strongest three and then short the weakest three. So in a way, it's hedging. We're hedging gold, but we're allowing the component part, the Swiss, the dollar, the euro, the pound, the Aussie, the yen, to move price. Okay, so while we are sort of hedged at the gold level, we're not, because of the secondary component level. And so we can see it's done quite well. We've got a 2R in place. We've got like a $20 stop loss, and we've got $40 take profit. So it's a 2R. It looks fine, doesn't it? And now the point of this EA, what it does dynamic lot sizing, which is cool, but I may reduce it. And also what it does, it refers back to the MA band. So for example, gold right now, gold's basically well exceeded this band right now. So it won't open up any trades until price comes back within the band. And what it does, it's this is the MA20. Let's get rid of that. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, this is the MA20 on the hour, and then we've got 0.5 ATR either side. So we need price to go back within the band before we trade gold again. And so that might not even happen. That may not even happen for the rest of the day, because we can see we are still selling off. And what I may have to do is increase the ER, because we can see we're continuing. But I think 2 hours fine right now, and we can see we've had a nice chunk of profit. And we come to the signals display, is that we're doing okay on our robot. This is using the spreadsheet. Now it's worth noting that Mr. Bosch hit 1% profit, and what had happened is that he had a default like that. Now I've toggled yen and Swiss off, and I hadn't hit the 1%. So I think what I'll do next week is I'll simply have this and then just have it completely default like stock, and just have it, you know, when it rolls out, no changes required, just roll out and then away you go. Because what's happened is that I toggled that, and it actually hurt my profit, because Mr. Bosch had CAD yen and Aussie yen, and they really pumped, and he hit his 1%. So he's now locked out for the week. He's made 1% on his account and is walking away, which is a great way to trade. And so what I will do, in fact what I might do now, just in case I forget, I will toggle them back on, and we'll just see how we go. So it was a good lesson learned, because I would have thought toggling that off would have been a good idea. Turns out it wasn't such a good idea, because Aussie yen and CAD yen, they really moved. So that's the robot side of things, and we'll quickly look at the sheets and sentiment confirmation. We've had a recent update, so that's cool. 724, 713, and we are having a lot of mixed no alignment apart from Aussie Swiss, but you might argue for 0.66 we've kind of done the move already, but you could look for a retracement. If we come down, could look for an Aussie Swiss buy, but at the moment we've got a hell of a lot of mixed messages from the sentiment. So just be careful, trade safely. If you've got any questions, you want to join, you're more than welcome. And if you want to test the robots, that would be great. And this robot here, this one, it's going to be released on Monday, because I want a week's worth of testing on it, just to make sure whether or not this is just a fluke or a freak result. It might just be a freak result, but we want to keep testing it and see how we go. And so that's the logic for no trade. It's because we've really exceeded that band massively. So we're not chasing the price now, we're allowing price to come back up to the MA, and then we're going to trade it again.